Well, Ceramic Industries Group is also controlled by the Ravazotti family and manufactures ceramic tiles and China sanitary ware for sale to Italtile and other retailers. Its earnings have been patchy in recent years, and a subsidiary in Australia has also battled in the face of cheap imports. Ceramic has a price to earnings ratio of nearly 18 and a market cap of 2.2 billion rand. So there's a chain story going on here. Ravazotti family supplying into Italtile. What do you make of that scenario?
Yeah, look, it's the retarded cousin in this case, part of the family. Unfortunately, it's exactly that, as you say. They are at the mercy of where the rand is, and there are plenty of cheap Chinese and other national source imports with which they have to deal. So they've got these facilities, they're manufacturing tiles, you know, the Vitro and Samka and Better brands. They make those acrylic baths that are kind of, you know, creak when you get into them. And all of that is very tough to compete with the foreigners. So it's been, you know, ducking and diving, doing the best they can.
How does Italtile balance that in terms of the family affiliation?
I'm not sure. It's a good question. I mean, this one is managed by a separate team. So Nick Booth, who's quite visible and comes on and talks about the company's prospects, is the CEO here. But again, it's got very limited tradability in terms of the liquidity of the stock. They've got the sort of 55–60% stake in the industry.
Daniel, you must be clued up on this one. Owning Italtile,
Yes.
this is a feeder into that stock. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that, so what you have in Italtile is you have flexibility. In ceramic, you don't have that. Italtile can source cheaply from overseas and sell it here. Ceramic has to produce here and sell it here. If they've got power costs, glaze costs going up, they don't have that flexibility. So that's where they can take a bit of strain. Although if you look at the most recent results, a lot of the strain actually came from Australia. And if you look at Italtile's results as well, they also say that the market there is just very difficult, and Ceramic themselves say that their offering was not correct. So there was a bit of a double whammy there. If you can somehow pull that back, which I think they will, a lot of that loss disappears. Also cash generative, they also pay special divvies, and as far as CEOs go, Nick Booth is definitely one of my favorites.
Does that mean that if I made you choose between Ceramic Industries and Italtile, that you may opt for Ceramic Industries, or does that make no sense whatsoever?
They're both very well-run businesses, so it would come down to price.
It would, and at the moment, given current valuations?
At the moment, I would go for Italtile.
Italtile. And
Yeah,
yourself, Paul,
I don't know
are you seeing value here?
directly, but the Centaurus operation in Australia really seemed to have had a shocker. So, I mean, write-downs, no, I don't like it. I don't think it's ideal that they're at the mercy of foreign competitors, many of whom have massively larger production runs, etc.
Hot or not, Daniel, on Ceramic Industries?
I'm tempted to say it doesn't matter that much because the liquidity is very, very difficult in that stock. So I'm not even sure if you could get a position if you wanted.
If you can get hold of any.
If you can get hold of any, not at these prices. If it came down a bit, it's hot. I like the business, I like the CEO, I like the management.
Paul, hot or not?
Pass, not.